Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we'll be getting back to work on the Moomin house. Going to be doing pack 18, and that's going to entail working on some on the basement and doing some stuff for the bed. So let me go ahead and open up the book and we'll get started. So let me open up the parts, and I have, just in case I need it, the fabric from a couple of issues ago. Although, yeah, the bedspread, which is part of this issue, is a different kind of fabric. There it is. I was thinking I was going to have to cut this open, but I forgot they always have a flap. So we've got part A here, and this should be part B. And these are parts of the framework for the basement. And that's all that's in the bag, except for, oh, I'll move my trash can. Except for the fabric for the pillow. We got fabric for the pillow, fabric for a bedspread, paper template to make the bedspread, and the pillow. There's the pillow, there's the bedspread. So we set these over here by the bed, and we'll get started. So it says side marked A faces forward. It's going to face me. Let me go ahead and move that. It's going to go in here just like this. If I can get it to fit. Looks like it's going to need to be sanded down a little bit. Not sure what's blocking it right now. Try it from the other side real quick, and that'll tell me a lot about what's holding it up. So it just needs a little bit, it looks like, right in this corner. So let me get this fit, and then I will be back. Okay, that literally took just about 2 seconds with a file right there. That spot right there was just barely blocking it, and I'm looking at it, it's not quite flat. So let me take this file and actually flatten it, because it doesn't fit down there perfect yet. And it still takes a little bit of effort to push it down, but it does now go on there. Just like that. So pop it back off. It is very snug, which is good. Grab my glue, which I actually had a comment on one of my videos asking, on actually the last video on the Moomin house, asking where I got this. And I linked in my response where I put a link in to Amazon for this exact bottle. This bottle is very helpful because it keeps me from putting too much glue on. Little bit damage there. But this minor amount, what this does by using this little bitty amount of glue is it keeps it from overflowing everywhere. I don't have to clean a whole bunch of glue out. And this glue is actually very, very thick. It is a type of a wood glue. I think I've shown it before. I think it's called Weld Bond. It's not just wood glue, it's a glue for a lot of things. But I like it. It works really well for this. Oh, come on. There we go. Hold that down together for a couple minutes. While I'm holding it, I'm going to go ahead and pause. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and actually I went over and got these clamps. I love these clamps. I've had them for a little while, haven't used them a whole bunch. Started using them on the Chaperone. Really nice little clamps. You have to play with them some because the pads will slide off. I have actually been clamping it before and had the pad slide off, so I have to go back and do a little bit of finagling with it. But very worthwhile clamps. Got them on Amazon. I've got another set with 6 more of these 4-inch clamps and 2 8-inch clamps. Going to be well worth it, especially for any woodworking models that you do. So let me set them aside. I'm going to be using them in a minute again. Make sure that B is going to fit on here. And it looks like B is actually going to have a problem. Maybe. B is down into all but the last spot here. Slight warpage of the wood, very, very slight warpage of the wood. I just pushed it down a little bit. And something to be very cognizant when you're doing these. This is why you have to put the label towards you, because this slant, if it's on the wrong side, will not let the framework around the bottom, the base, go in. So let me pull this back out. Apply a little bit of glue. Like I said before, don't have to be phenomenal amounts. There's not going to be anything pulling on this. It is just to hold it together. Get the glue in here. I'm actually really impressed that how they put the gap in there for the brace that holds the 2 floor pieces together. And the next several packs are actually of putting the cellar together. Some other stuff with it, but mainly putting the cellar together. So that's in there. And again, you can see right there, that one just needs a little push over to get in place. So now bring the clamp back over, push the button here to release it. And it slides together pretty well. You know, just push it. And then pretty good clamp force there. Open this one up, push it together. And it's important to try and make sure that you've got these on here straight. That's what lets the pads slip off. Right there, that one is slipping a little bit. Just push it back on. And just like that. Let me set that right there, let it dry, and we'll move on to the next portion of this, which is putting this bedspread together. I do have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed that they gave such a small amount of double-sided tape. I'm actually out of the double-sided tape. Ran out on the last video that they supplied, and so I had to get some myself. Already had it. It's not that I'm upset that I had to get it, but it should be, in my mind, Partworks should come with all the parts they need. So let me go ahead and I'm going to take a look at this and see what I need to do, and then we'll come back and I'll put it together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each thing step by step. First thing it tells you to do is fold the pillow fabric in half, making a good line. Then you take the pillow template, hair there, put it as close to equidistant on either side, like that. Then I'm going to have to draw some lines around it, and that's where I'm going to fold it. This is my double-sided tape. That's what I'm going to have to use. They say to use 1 centimeter wide. All I have is 5 millimeter. I may go and see. I think we have some other double-sided tape. This should work, but I'll come back after I get the lines drawn and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I have my pencil lines all the way around. Next step is to fold over the shorter edges, crease them like I did the center. After that, fold over the longer edges and do the same thing. At that point, once that's done, I will fold over the longer edges and tape it down with double-sided tape. See how this works out. I'll be back once I have the top and bottom edges folded over and taped down. Decided to pop back in real quick. Got the edges on the two shorter edges done. And I wanted to pop in and say, this is how I did it. They don't really go into it, but the way to get it is you start folding it over the template. Once you have a little bit of a crease, you can come back from the outside and really crease it so that it shows even when you flatten it back out. I think this is very key. It's going to actually be very important to the shape of your pillow. So let me go ahead and lay this back out, and then I'll crease the long edges. Okay, so there's the first layer, and I decided I would pop back in real quick and show you what I'm doing here. Come on, focus. I actually cut it too long, cut the tape too long, so I can come back in here and shorten it. And then to reach the 1 centimeter width that they're asking for, because you got to cut a 4 millimeter corner off on each side, I'm just going to lay another layer strip inside of these. That'll make the whole 1 centimeter. It would be easier if I had 1 centimeter wide tape, but I don't. So it's going to entail me pulling the tape off, or the covering off the tape, on 4 separate pieces of tape. 5 actually, because I cut the first one too short, so I have 2 on one spot. So there's one. This one's going to be too long. That's okay. As long as I still have tape while I need it, doesn't matter. There's the second one, and it's a hair off. I think this will also seal up the cut edges will fray pretty well, so that's going to help. I'm going to do this off camera because what I'm trying to do is cut a corner that, from corner to corner that far. So I'll be back once I get that done, and we'll press on. Okay, so I've got the sticky surface now available, and I've folded over the corners. This one looks like it's a little bit up. Pretty important to get these as straight as possible because it's going to actually shape your bed or your pillow. Then it says apply double-sided adhesive tape approximately 1 centimeter wide again. Not sure if that's how important that's going to be, but I'm gonna do a single strip down here because this is actually going to be where it folds up and closes. Hopefully that will be enough. I'm pretty sure it will be. I don't think it has to be a full 1 centimeter wide, especially because I've got the full tape available there, there in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. This is what I'm getting ready to do it. I'm going to pause after, and next thing I got to do is fold a napkin small enough, or a piece of napkin small enough in there to fit in there and actually give this a little bit of fluffiness to the pillow. So I will be back. Okay, so the template here was to do the exact same thing as we did on the pillow. I drew some lines, I used it to fold it. Now I've got the double-sided tape. This is going to get folded over and make our quilt. There's just a little bit more to do after that. So I will go ahead and fold this over while on camera if I can get the tape to come loose, or the backing. So take the backing off. And I don't think it matters which way you do it, whether you do the long sides first or the short sides. So you fold it over, making it match the lines you put on there as best as you can, because you also folded it and creased it so that it would actually hold the shape. And it's kind of like annealing for fabric, but instead of photo etch, you're doing it with fabric. And then side 3 here. And it says in the instructions to use 1 centimeter again. I'm only doing the 5 millimeters because literally I would be laying the tape over on top of itself. So the single spot should do just fine. So there's the quilt. And now what I have to do is make a fold here about 15 centimeters down, and then another fold about 5 centimeters down. And those are going to be held in place by 5 millimeter tape. Actually, I'll probably use the 3 millimeter tape just to give it a little bit of room. So I'll be back after I take care of that, show you that, and then we'll finish up. So just in case anybody is using my videos as instructional, what I did here was I drew a line 15 millimeters down from the top, not centimeters, which is what I think I said before was centimeters, and this isn't even 15 centimeters long. But I drew a line 15 millimeters down from the top. And I'm going to take the card, the template for the size of the bedspread, lay it over there so that I can fold it, get a good crease on there, similar to what I've done before. Pick that up, get the 2 millimeter tape instead, because I do want the crease to stay there. I just don't want the tape to be hanging out. Might have to pull the side backing off of this. I leave this on for the most part to keep the glue from drying out, especially in that spot right there. So grab the tape, pull it about the width of the bedspread, cut it off, and I'm going to lay it as close to this seam or crease as I can and not extend beyond the edges, which means I got to come back here and cut it off before the end of the bedspread. So you can see there, I've got it laid right up against that crease. And then I take the backing off. Again, it's static electricity is your friend. Let go. There. Fold this back over top of that tape. And now it's going to stay in place like that. So now what I got to do is take it from this side and fold it about 5 centimeters over. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and you can see why I was leaving those on there, because it stuck to the page. So I'll be right back after I take care of that. Okay, so there's the fold. I just eyeballed it this time. Grab a piece of tape. Again, 2 millimeter because I don't want it sticking out. And I'll take care of that. Come back when I'm about ready to put it onto the bed. Okay, so that is folded over. Looks pretty good to me. I did end up with a little bit of tape sticking out there, but that's not going to matter. I don't know if you can even see it. I did on the camera. And so now what we have to do is we have to, wow, I actually made it too long for the bed. But last thing we do here, and I guess I'll fold it down over there, is we fold it down like that over top of the bed. Kind of equidistant on either side. And there, finally, they say use 5 millimeter tape. So let me go ahead and get the tape on there, and we will put it to bed. Yes, that was an intentional pun. We will put this issue to bed. There's that. Again, trimming off the excess without trimming the fabric. Same on this side. This may create a little bit of an issue because it is a little bit longer than the bed. But I like when I pushed it over, just setting it on there, it kind of folded over on itself and actually looked like a sheet on a bed. So let me trim this part, pull the backing off the tape without pulling up the layer below. When I tried to grab it on the other end, it started pulling the top of the blanket. Okay. Kind of lay this centered, push this end down. Make sure I've got it pretty much centered on the bed. Push this down, push this down. It's not 100% perfect, but what bed is. And then we lay the pillow on here like that. And we've completed the bed. Actually, I'm going to lay the pillow completely down. And I will probably later on put a piece of tape across there just to make sure that it doesn't come off. There is the bed to go along with the with well with what seems a long time for me because this video actually has taken about an hour and a half to do. But there's the bed and this start of the cellar. So I hope you're enjoying this series. If you do, like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post new content, which is usually every day. Although I do have to say I missed a day because I thought I scheduled something for the 11th of November. I actually had it scheduled for the 13th of December to release. So there is that. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. Links will be in the description. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great tomorrow. And I will see you on the next video.